This program provides education, not advice. Sponsors pay a fee for endorsements and interviews. See the truthayf.com disclosure page for details.
This is where technology, innovation, and personal finance come together.
This is the truth about your future with Rick Edelman.
It's Tuesday, July 16th. On today's show, we talked yesterday about a new way AI is threatening jobs. Here's some more for you. There might be a silver lining in this one. The assembly line and automation wiped out millions of jobs 100 years ago. Now AI is poised to wipe out high-paying, white-collar jobs. Do you write software code? Do you generate sales leads? The newest generation of AI chatbots can do these tasks, and they do it faster and better and cheaper than humans. They can log into accounts. They can send messages for you over text and voice. They can write software programs. If you're in a sales career, the first place you started was as an internal wholesaler or a lead development representative. You basically have to find potential customers. Then you have to figure out how to contact them. And then you have to make your pitch. You either do this by phone, cold calling, or through sending emails. It's distasteful work because 99 out of 100 people you contact blow you off. But if you can persist, you can get promoted. That's your goal. But now one AI company has automated all this. It works 24 hours a day with no human supervision. Once it finds a lead, it researches them online and then contacts them via email or text, or even using some social media sites like LinkedIn. And it does this all by itself. It can also make actual phone calls to prospects. It'll actually engage them in conversation. There's one interesting thing, and this is a bit relieving. Yeah, these systems will eliminate jobs of lead gen prospectors, but it will turn those people into sales assistants as they take the handoff from the AI chatbot so you can further build the relationship with the customer. It's one thing to get someone to say they want to learn more. It's a whole other thing to actually turn that person into a customer and not only sell them your product, but deliver ongoing service after the sale. So this just might be an example of AI shifting the nature of work, not replacing it, but helping humans walk away from the drudgery jobs so they can do better jobs that are more fun, more satisfying, and which pay a lot better. Yesterday, I said that AI is so powerful that they're coming up with amazing ways to put it to work, and that you need to make sure your career is insulated. Today, I'll add to that message and say that you also need to figure out how you can use AI to improve your job and even set the path for you to get a better one. Stay tuned. Coming up next here on the podcast, one of the questions that I got from a listener here to the podcast.
Electricity, a big idea that's inspired countless new ones. From powering the light bulb to virtually powering our entire lives. 30 years ago, State Street launched the Spider S&P 500 ETF, SPY. A big idea that inspired the world to invest differently, and still does. What can you do with SPY?
Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit ssga.com for a prospectus containing this and other information. Read it carefully before investing. SPY is subject to risks similar to those of stocks. All ETFs are subject to risk, including possible loss of principal. Alps Distributors, Inc. Distributor.
Welcome back. The Truth About Your Future continues. I got a question from Michael. Here's what he wrote.
Now that the Bitcoin ETFs have been around for a few months, I'm planning to invest some of my retirement accounts in them. I am 64 years old. Am I too old to do this?
No, Michael, you're not too old at all. I mean, goodness gracious, at age 64, you could have 20, 30 years, 40 years to go. You're barely in middle age, my friend. So no, it's not out of sync for you at all. If you believe in a diversified portfolio, if you believe in portfolio rebalancing, if you believe in long-term investing, adding Bitcoin ETFs to that diversified portfolio can make perfect sense. You should talk with your financial advisor to determine what amount of asset allocation you ought to have. Should it be 2%, 3%? Let your advisor help you with that. Which of the ETFs ought you to choose? Let your advisor help you with that. And doing it inside of your retirement accounts can make a great deal of sense because the profits on an annual basis are sheltered. But you could argue that since these ETFs don't generate income, they don't pay dividends, they don't pay interest, that you don't really need to put them inside of a retirement account because these are growth assets. You only pay taxes when you sell, and that means they're already tax deferred, just like the assets in a retirement account are. And on that basis, Why put them in a retirement account where the ultimate taxes are at your ordinary income tax rate, whereas if you keep them outside of your retirement account, the capital gains tax rate applies, which could be half the amount of tax. Again, talk to your financial advisor, tax advisor about this. I'm not giving you tax or legal advice. I'm telling you to go seek that. But the fundamental bottom line question you asked, am I too old to do this? Absolutely not. You are not too old to do it. I would even argue that somebody in their 80s or 90s isn't too old to do it. On what basis do I say that? Real simple. If you are so old that you never think you're going to use the money because you're going to die with the asset, then in other words, that's not your money anymore. That's money you fully intend to give to your children and grandchildren. You are merely the steward of the money, and that means you ought to probably be managing the money with them in mind. So you might consider yourself too old at 80, but if your grandchildren are in their 40s, I think we could all agree that they're not too old to own Bitcoin, and you're simply owning it on their behalf. You can send me your question as well. Just send it to askrick@thetruthayf.com. The link is in the show notes.
Invesco QQQ is a proud sponsor of The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman and a proud sponsor of Accessing the Future of Innovation. Curious what that means? Well, since March 1999, Invesco QQQ has given investors a way to tap into the NASDAQ 100 in a single ETF. We're talking world-changing breakthroughs that we can't live without today. Gene therapy, telemedicine, AI, EVs, and more. Still curious? Tomorrow's innovation awaits. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco QQQ. There are risks when investing in ETFs, including possible loss of money. ETF risks are similar to those of stocks. Investments in the tech sector are subject to greater risk and more volatility than more diversified investments. The NASDAQ 100 Index comprises the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. You can't invest directly into an index. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit Invesco.com for prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully before investing. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
Hey, financial advisors, are you fluent in crypto? Blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoins, tokenization, and most importantly, crypto taxation, estate planning, and asset allocation. Take the online course, become certified in blockchain and digital assets. Thousands of financial professionals from 37 countries have enrolled. Become fluent in crypto so you can help your clients and build your practice. Enroll today and get your CBDA designation. On tomorrow's show, I'm going to tell you about the financial infidelity behind divorces. I'm glad you're with me here on The Truth About Your Future. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to follow and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. And remember, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I read them all. Never miss an episode of The Truth About Your Future. Follow and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. I'll see you tomorrow.
How do advances in science, technology, and medicine translate into investment opportunity? Listen and learn.
This is The Truth About Your Future with Rick Edelman.